Home prices are at historic highs across the country because there's not much inventory on the market, right? This is something I've talked about for months, maybe even years now on this channel. This is something that you've probably heard in the media, right? There's not many homes on the market, but what most people aren't talking about is how little buyers there are out there on the market. This is a huge shift that I've noticed here in Vermont, right? There's less buyers than there have been in years past. Homes are still selling for well over list price. It's still competitive, but compared to years past, things have slowed down a little bit. Less homes are selling for over list price. So, although supply is very low, how much does supply need to increase in order for us to come back to a balanced market? Now, this is going to depend on two things. Not only one, the amount of homes that are for sale on the market, but two, where interest rates are. Because if interest rates come down, then we're going to need more homes, more active inventory to make this market a balanced market as more people can afford to buy, compared to right now where rates are, where they're sitting at around 7%. So if rates stay high, we need less inventory to bring the market back to a balanced market, compared to if rates drop, we'll need more inventory. We're going to talk about all that in this video. Before I get into it, my name's Liam O'Reilly. I'm a realtor with Jerry Riley Real Estate here in Vermont. If you have any real estate needs, reach out to me directly. All of my contact information is in the description. I would be happy to help you. And let's get right into it. So we're starting here with yesterday's video, where I talked about how we need about 750,000 homes that are for sale, active on the market, to bring the vacancy rate back to historic norms. You can see here that we are 1.5 million housing units short of where we need to be. 750,000 of those housing units are homes that would be for sale on the market in order to bring the vacancy rate back to normal. Now, the thing is, if the vacancy rate goes back down to normal, home prices would start to plummet. And that's because home buyer demand has dropped significantly. When we go over to Redfin here, we see the home buyer demand index, which this is a Redfin specific index. So this does not take into account Zillow or Realtor.com, but Redfin's a large enough company that this gives us a good sample size of what's going on in the market. So the Redfin home buyer demand index is down 13% year over year. Less buyers are out there looking for properties right now. And when we take a look at Redfin's other metrics that they track, we'll see that home buyer demand is dropping in many ways. So up at the top here, Google searches of homes for sale, right? This isn't a Redfin specific metric. This is a metric that Google tracks when when people search in Google for homes for sale. There's less people looking. We're down 18% year over year. Touring activity is actually up from the start of the year, but that is more of a seasonal thing compared to an indication of where the housing market is. We already talked about the Redfin home buyer demand index is down 13%. Mortgage applications are down 13% year over year, which I think is just crazy. There's 13% less people who are in the market looking for properties to buy right now, or less people getting a mortgage who are looking to buy right now than there were this time last year. And it declined 4% from a week earlier, right? If that 4% decline continues week over week over week, then that's going to rule a lot of buyers out of the market. Now, the obvious reasons why people aren't hopping in the market is because median sales price is at a historical high level, 392,000 across the country, according to Redfin. Home buyer house payments includes, I believe this includes taxes and insurance as well as principal and interest. It's up $20 to $2,800 per month, up 7% year over year, right? Interest rates have remained relatively stable between 6 and 7%. Of course, they reached 8% last fall. They're floating around 7% right now, but because the median sales prices increased so drastically over the past year, the home buyer house payment is near all-time highs at $2,800, which is pushing a lot of people out of the market. On top of all that, it's cheaper to rent than it is to buy. When we take a look at some of these metros, almost every metro has a high buy to rent ratio. So here in Atlanta, it costs 31% more per month to pay your mortgage than it does to pay rent for the typical mortgage payment compared to the typical rent payment. And some of these metros are just crazy. When we take a look at San Francisco here, if I can find it, it is almost triple the monthly cost to pay your mortgage payment. Is almost 3 times as expensive as rent in San Francisco. I'm looking for these big numbers. I must have passed it here. Let's see, right here. San Francisco, California, the average rental is $3,000 a month. The average mortgage payment is almost $8,500 a month. It's 180, oh my God, 180% more expensive to purchase a property and pay that mortgage payment in San Francisco than it is to rent a property. So more people are choosing to rent than they are to buy. Now, why do I bring all this up? Why do I bring low buyer demand up? Why do I bring the fact that there's still low supply? Because we don't need supply to increase back to pre-pandemic levels or even to reach historic norms where the vacancy rate is, like Freddie Mac indicated, in order to balance the market out. If we have interest rates at 7% and home prices where they are, then we just need inventory and active listings to continue on this trend before the housing market starts to become more balanced. Now, I don't think we're going to see the bottom drop out of the housing market because of how short supply is, but in order to give buyers a little bit more leverage, have homes stop selling for well over list price with multiple offers, we need these trends to continue, right? We have pending sales are down about 4% year over year. There's less homes going under contract. At the same time, there's more listings hitting the market. New listings are up 7% year over year. So more homes are hitting the market, less homes are going under contract, and as a result, 16% more homes are on the market this year. So if we see those trends continue throughout the year and interest rates remain at around 7%, then what that's going to entail is that there's more inventory on the market. Buyers have more options to choose from. And when they have more options, they have more leverage. Maybe you can negotiate your price down a little bit. Maybe you can ask for a building inspection, where many properties over the past few years, buyers have had to waive a building inspection in order to actually purchase the property. So I think if mortgage rates remain high and we continue on the trends that we're continuing on, we're going to hit a balanced market. Now, in order for home prices to drop significantly, to see a crash like we saw in 2008, we need that balanced market to continue for a long period of time. We need inventory to continue to build, and then home prices will start to drop significantly. That's not something that we're close to seeing yet. That would probably happen maybe in 2026 or 2027 if we were to continue along these trends. I don't think that's the most likely scenario. I think interest rates will drop at some point before then, which will help stabilize the housing market and stop inventory from continuing to build. Now, on the flip side of that, if mortgage rates drop significantly in the near term, then we're going to see more inventory rise, more inventory come to the market. So active listings are going to increase, new listings are going to increase, and we're going to see home prices remain stable or increase. And this is because more people who don't want to give up their low mortgage payment right now, right? They don't want to trade a 3% mortgage payment up to a 7% mortgage payment. More of those people are going to list their homes and buy something else, which is going to cause more activity to happen throughout the entire housing market, which will, yes, bring more inventory, bring more listings, which we desperately need. But at the same time, the fact that mortgage rates are lower means more people can qualify for home payments at where current prices are. So I think that's all I have for you folks today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. I love hearing from you folks. Let me know what you think is going on in the housing market. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.